Okay.
Recording started.
Okay, host disabled participants sharing. So I can't share my screen.
Your screen is not sharing.
You can share now. You can share now.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I'm sharing my screen right now. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Hello? Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen. Go ahead.
Okay, this is the note I was given. They gave us 2 notes to read on Zuri. They gave us this 10 usability. I can't pronounce that. 10 usability. I can't really pronounce that. Then all right, thank you very much. Heuristic with examples, and I will not lie, I've not read it. It was an impromptu hosting, but I agreed to do it, but I feel it shouldn't be. It's looking like it's going to be hard now.
Can we start from this slide?
The slide, there was no slide given, no.
There's a slide there.
Where? On this particular write-up?
Yes, taxes, there's a slide.
Okay. I'm not sure, this one just gave laws. There was no slide on it.
Okay, check your Zuri board for the post.
Okay, let me just check it in that case. Okay. Not too much long. Sorry guys, I'm coming. I remember seeing. I know there are 2 videos. Now do another first. Yeah, no slides. Yeah, that is okay. This one, the prototype stage.
Yeah, open it on a new tab.
I'll do that.
Yeah, so I think that is this.
Okay. High fidelity prototype. Yes. Okay. So this is slide. So this is it. Am I supposed to explain this?
I don't think so. You're not supposed to explain it actually. You're just supposed to anchor. We are all supposed to share our ideas.
All right, no problem. Okay. So have the slide.
If you like class captain, the copy name.
Class captain.
And then you do like class captain and be calling people's names. People should be answering. Call AC first.
Problem. So since you're already giving me the go ahead, let's start from you. I guess has anybody read it?
Yes, me I've read. I won't say I read it, but I went through it.
Yeah. Okay. So
Just
probably to share your highlights.
Read through. We'll discuss it. Read through.
Okay. Basically, we're talking about the high fidelity prototype and the benefits of a high fidelity prototype. Now, I said it makes it more presentable to stakeholders. Okay, according to the video I watched, she was saying that I think that video she was talking about low fidelity prototype, where she talked about it being easy for anybody to understand it. And it's just a simple prototype that anybody who sees it will know what you're talking about. It's nothing complex. You just make it as simple as possible, no plenty designs. And for that, she talked about sketching with your hand first to make it all easy, then showing it to other people before you convert it into, before you draw it in a system and bring it out as a prototype. Then he said the elements of good hi-fi prototype we talked about, and a rich interactive experience. We now moved further to colors. Now talking about colors, like how to select colors for your design so that you just don't go and make so that you don't end up creating an app that will have rainbow designs, different colors, then you do too many color blockings. So how to create a colors design effectively and fine. Then he also talked, yeah, they also talked about tools to help us for color selection. Now talked about colors, then material design, color. I've never used that, but I've used colors before. I know that colors is beautiful. They give you, even allow you choose the colors you want, allow you create your own personal templates and which colors works for you. And I know you can also lock your colors when you're checking on colors. So then further went to spacing, the use of negative space, so that we don't have your, like when you're designing and writing, you have writes up in your design, how to space it out so that you don't occupy all the space and you don't make it too, you don't cluster your writes up and like that. Then the spacing system. Now I said the best spacing system is 8 points. That is 8 pixels between every should I say every object and every, just between different objects you're placing in your design. Sorry, am I running too fast?
No, you're good.
Okay.
A little bit, but it's fine.
Okay. Then talked about the Sparta system, which is basically, I think, the spaces, the minimum distance between two objects on your board and how you can do it. Then this is the spacing rule here. On the left hand side, you'll notice that there's a no clear vertical region, like it's all clustered up. You can't actually seem to differentiate it. Somehow I just want to, they all want to look alike, despite the fact that the boxes have, sorry about that, have different colors and all. Unlike the one on your right that has the spacing between them, it separates each object from the other, and then they use the 8 point spatial system. So you see how free it is, not looking as clustered as the elements on the left hand that have no clear spatial system. Then she also talked about the spacing rules padding, like the space you give around an element when you create it, so that it's not like it's choked. Like if you notice this particular image, there's something, the padding is there. There is the white part immediately after the text. Then this yellow box, that is the border before this other white one that sounds like a margin. But let me say my own human understanding, I just feel like if I just want to break it down, I'll take this white box as a frame, then a mini frame again inside before the words, and then the spacing, so that this way it looks fine. It's not jam packed to one place. It's free. You can easily understand it. They talked about typography, that is the act of using letters and making them eligible when you're making a design. Says that good typography holds a writer's attention. It helps convey information and ensures legibility. Like one thing I know, if you're actually designing, you don't just place your text anyhow. You place it in such a way that it grabs it grabs attention. Like someone can easily read it. It's not jam-packed. It's just that fine and easy for anybody to read. Then here I want to talk about copy refers to text, the lorem ipsum. And this is just like a design that he just gave an example. Then he talked about alignment, that is how to align your text or your image to a page, column, a cell, or a tab. Now, text can either be a long body text or paragraph, but he said it's better when you align a text to left or right. That's as far as it's a long body text, it has to be either you either align it to your left or you align it to your right. But a long body text is usually not aligned at the center because it gives it this, should I use scattered look in quotes? But then in a shorter text or a shorter copy can be aligned to the center, unlike a long body text. Then gave this, okay, where did I go to? Then he gave this image and it has to do with alignment. Let me see if I can zoom it out so that everybody can see it. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay, so
Can you
this
zoom
is
closer?
like, you said?
Can you go closer a bit?
Okay. Yeah, okay. I think my laptop has exited. This is how far it can go. I don't know. Is it better? It's not going, it's refusing to zoom any further.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
So what is
So
happening
this,
here now? 'Cause I don't understand.
it's talking about the alignment. You know, the paragraph before, he talked about aligning long text either to the left or right, but never at the center. Now here, when you talk about the bit fraud, they are both aligned. The headings, the bit fraud and the maximize acceptance, they're both aligned to the left, but there's still a space, like it's aligned in such a way that it looks like a 2-page document. Well, even though it's aligned in a 2-page document format, it still has this spacing that you can easily understand what you see. At least he talked about spacing and colors and all of that. You can notice the colors. Like it's not too shouty, it's not loud, but it's fine. Then the spacings for the word, so they're not clustered, they are declustered, and it's something anybody can easily read. And the color helps get anybody attention, because when you're looking at this, the first color that will get your attention is purple. Before you now look at the other part, I'm like, okay, what's written down here? So that's that, or that's it. I don't know if you are clear.
Yeah, I am. Thanks.
Okay. So I moved on to the typography line, the line height, where it talks about how you arrange your lines or your text so that it's readability purpose and acceptable, so that it's easy to read. The distance between your text, that is also called leading or line spacing, like the way he explained, the distance between text and plane meet the line height, then the baseline. So there's a space and they're clear and it's easy for readability. They said common knowledge for the line height is usually 130 to 150% for readability. But he said even 200% is acceptable. Then moved on to contrasting colors. And even when you write, you still have to contrast your colors, just the way he did with the yellow and white fill. Then he used a blue background and a yellow fill to make sure that everything is legible and visible. So you choose your font colors, fine. And you also still, and as before we talked about using colors to choose your colors. And then here he also stated contrastchecker.com, so that you don't go and put two colors that are not supposed to be together and scatter the whole thing. Then it talks about tips and tools to help out with typography. That is, we have to understand the hierarchy system, the spacing between them, and that is choosing a golden retro calculator. Then learn to choose a pair font that is maximum of 2 fonts, minimum of 1 font. Then there are different places you could get your fonts from, Google Fonts, Da Fonts. There are just different sites that help you do that. Then you also consider the mood. Consider the mood your product infers or creates. Now, when you're creating, basically your okay.
All right. Anyone that is on the study group, is there like anyone that has used Figma so far? Is there like a connection where you can import these fonts into your Figma? Anyone who has used Figma to a level, is there a way like this Google fonts now and this Type Joe? So if I want to get more fonts, am I just to, is it like a file I'll carry from Google Fonts and drop it in my Figma, then I'll start seeing the fonts or something? I mean, what do you think, Bolu and Shiri? What do you think? I don't know. Is there like a connection or something where if you want to get the fonts, you just go to Google?
I think
When
Google fonts are embedded in Figma.
Wow, that would be nice.
Because when I want to use fonts, I go to Google Fonts. I check for the fonts, for the particular font I want to use. Then I go back to Figma. Then I check through my font list. Then I pick it there.
Because I tried looking for a font on Figma. I couldn't get it, so I just left it alone. I had to download it, then install it in my laptop, then go back again before I finally saw it there.
Yeah, because they won't be not where to get more fonts if all the fonts are in Figma. You get what I'm saying? Like, look at that now. They are showing us where to get more fonts. So I'm looking at Figma might be a limited app, like limited to some level, to some numbers of fonts.
Figma has lots of fonts, funny enough.
But Figma has a lot of fonts, actually.
Actually, the fonts on Figma are the normal basic fonts that come with your computer, just like the same fonts you have in your Microsoft Word. Yes, so those are the same fonts that are on Figma. But then you see Figma has a list of fonts that are so long. Now, there will be some ones that you would choose, and then you would find out that Figma will tell you that this font is not available. You get?
Yeah.
Yes. In that case, what you can do is you can choose to download fonts and install them on your computer, and then they will appear in Figma. Or I think what you can do is install a font plugin from the Figma community.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I think that's a good one. So when we download the on our laptop, it's going to automatically show in our.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
I think the answer.
All right. Then it says, consider the mood your product infers. Like maybe you're designing a food app or a clothing app. So you have to base your colors on how someone will feel when they see the colors and how your mood will interfere with the product you're creating. It said less is more. I don't understand that, but I feel maybe not too much grammar, being as brief as possible. Then last one says practice. They're more like practice, practice, practice. Then iconography, that is using icons to design. Like I said, there are simple elements that easily recognizable and understood, just like the icons you have on your phone. Seeing them, you don't have to think about what they stand for. You just know that, okay, the box means multi-task, the other arrow means you can go back and all of that. Now say they help save space, help users navigate through your products, help add a creative touch and personality to your design, and transcend language barriers, because there are some icons that the moment you see it, you just know what they stand for. You don't have to think. And then in saving space, instead of writing home and all of that, you just put the icon there, and anybody that sees the home icon knows that it's a home icon. So that's that. Then things to consider when using your icons. I said you should have a consistent style across your designs. They must be widely understood. That means you have to use an icon that will easily be understood by everybody and anybody. Then they can be creative but functional too. That is yes, creative and functional. Then don't use conflicting icons together, e.g. a heart and a star. I think those two are conflicting because I don't know what a star would mean when a heart is. Okay. Then the 5-second rule is a good way to test your icon. If it takes more than 5 seconds to guess it correctly, then it should be changed. Then things to consider when using an icon. Do not reinvent the wheel. Use icon labels when appropriate to clarify the icon's functionality. The best icon file format is the SVG, as they allow for good scalability and editing. I know like most of us here must have used SVG icons. Like it's easy to reduce their size, make them big. It's easy to adjust them and change their colors. Then he said some good sources for icons are the Now project. I think most of the their icons are paid for, but then you can also see some free ones. Then icon8.com, then flaticon.com. Then this is for
slides, because these slides have a lot. I think I'll be saving these slides on my own Google Drive because these slides are actually having a lot of information that someone can use after they finish the training.
Yeah, so I'm going to save my own back. Download a copy.
I will save all the slides because it's like these slides are also very resourceful.
Okay.
Please, you can share a link when you are done saving the slides.
And this so that we'll just duplicate it. Thank you.
Nothing you shall pay me.
Yeah. Do something free for the Nigerian people.
Please talk about this. What's happening here? Which one be this one?
I don't understand.
Okay, can I explain?
Yeah, please go ahead, Abego. Let confusion not be here.
Okay. Now you before I continue now, could you go to that place where you find less is more?
Less is more. Okay, for me.
I think that is that one.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, typography, less is more. Now, there's a basic rule with design. That's that rule. Less is more. That's where you have. That's where you have the combination with negative space and stuff like that. It's kind of like it means that don't try to pack in too much information. For example, now have you ever seen a design whereby you see too much information on it? You easily get bored of that design, right? Even if it's a banner, you usually get bored. But when you see minimal information on a banner or something, you are attracted to it and you actually want to find out more. Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the rule of less is more. You get less text, more imagination for the user to experience. That's the meaning of less is more. So now you can go back to those guidelines, iOS and Android guidelines.
Okay. This is it.
Okay, yeah. The for the iOS and Android guidelines, there are some basic things that they use for that's both platforms. iOS for their typography, basically iOS, Apple, they use San Francisco for their typography, and for Android they use Roboto.
Okay.
Right. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, yeah. Now you see the difference here, the top screen navigation. For iOS, for those who use iPhones, you see, first and foremost, you have these mailboxes here. That's this very first part. You have these mailboxes here. Then you have the edit on the other side. And then just below the mailboxes, you have inbox. But then as you scroll, if you choose to scroll up, the inbox from this side will move on to the same line with mailboxes and edit.
Okay.
Right? So that is how iOS looks like. But for Android, this is the way it will always be, right? And they didn't label their edit button. They only use an icon. The back is just an icon. The only label they have there is the inbox. Is that clear enough?
Wow.
Yes. Oh, this one is simple now. This is plenty drama.
These are actually things that we need to take care of and take note of when we are designing for either of those platforms. The top screen application. Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, the search feature. Now, if you notice for the search feature, you can see for iPhone, there's a search bar, and then there's a cancel button. And then when you type, in the search bar, you can clear that what you have typed and still stay in search mode, and then you can still cancel. But then when you come to Android, you see there is no cancel button here. But then you can still, for the next one, you can clear what you are choosing to search for, but there's still no cancel button. For Android, the cancel button is the back button.
Okay.
Yes, but then for iOS, we have the cancel button there. So that's the basic difference between the two. So that when we're designing for either of both platforms, we know exactly what to do. That's for search feature. Can we go to the next one? Yeah, primary navigation. So when you look at Android, you have this for iOS, you could have about five buttons at the bottom of the screen, right? But usually for Android, there's usually a menu bar and then a floating action button. Now that floating action button is also called a fab. The short form is fab, FAB, floating action button. That's where you see that plus sign, whereby that means you can add something, right?
Yes.
Yes. So the navigation for iOS and Android are different. So when we are designing, we should know which one we are designing for, which one we are designing with. Next slide, please.
All right. This is
primary call to action button. For iOS, it's usually at the top, always at the top. But then for Android, it's usually a fab, a floating action button below. Next slide, please.
okay.
Yeah, these are other features that you could that you should take note of. Let's go back up the previous slide, please. I want to show them something. Now, for iOS, now these are events that are supposed to take place today. For iOS, if you click on one, it just pushes down the other one and shows the details of the particular one you choose to click on. But on Android, if you click on one, it takes you to a brand new page and shows you the content of that event.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's move forward.
Okay. I think this is the last slide.
Yeah, that's the last slide. So you can choose to read more, please. Read more on the differences between iOS and Android UI guidelines.
Okay. No problem.
Can we check out the question? The question, that's the tax question.
The tax question says, let's see, have fun. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, this is a tax question. It said, before attempting this task, you must have completed the following modules: design process and user research module, empathy stage, define stage, ideate stage, prototype stage 1, prototype stage 2. Objective: to apply the lessons learned from the modules to create a low fidelity and high fidelity design. Project brief: what citizens, humanitarian organization division to help people who are suffering and provide them with some needed supplies. After a detailed analysis of the competitive landscape, What Citizen founders David Wishayi and Lisa Everdeen has decided to create an online clothes donation platform across your continent. Their goal is that anyone, anywhere in your continent can be able to donate clothes easily. Deliverables. Following the submission of your sketches, David and Lisa had asked you to work on the following: a low fidelity prototype, a high fidelity prototype. So this is this. Deliverables should be, submit the Figma link showing the deliverables in 2 separate pages by 11:59 p.m. Monday, May 17, 2021. Wow.
So we're creating another low fidelity prototype on Figma.
Yes. Yes.
I thought we did that. We did that before now.
We did that on Miro.
It was supposed to be
that one was sketchy, no. This one is now wireframe.
Yeah, wireframe is different. I've been seeing some videos on wireframe. It's very different. Like there's actually some process, like some system where the thing will be changing picture as you press it. Abi?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I saw. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So
maybe. Can I share my screen? Let me share my screen.
All right. Let me stop sharing. Okay.
All right. Can we see my screen?
Okay. Yeah, you just said.
For me, this is my own wireframe, right? For one of the apps. What I did, me personally, I'm using the.
Which feature?
I'm using the.
Which feature?
This is my own wireframe for my app. This is for donor app.
Okay.
Yeah. So like me, I did a lot of me. I shot myself with the legs. I did a lot of sketching. You know, all the sketches I uploaded. So I'm just trying to match up with what I've done so far, just to avoid inconsistency. So I'm using the Google Pixel 2 XL preset for my own wireframing, for my own screen size. So this is my wireframe, right?
What? Sorry.
Huh?
They're using your blue Excel. I didn't get the last thing you said.
Google Pixel 2 XL. Now, that's a frame. When you come to click on frame, and if you choose phone, right? You see Google Pixel 2 XL here. Some people can choose to use iPhone 11 Pro Max and stuff. Me, I'm choosing to use Google Pixel. Here you get.
Okay, I get you, sir. Thank you.
So this is just my wireframe, right? Nothing really important. This is text field. Then this is a button. Although I'm supposed to add that, I don't know why I've not added that. This is a button. Let me add that. Let me just add that. Sorry.
Is how do you use Figma?
Huh?
How do you use Figma? The app seems to annoy me.
Wow.
Are you using those measurements that they spoke about in the slides?
That's all those 8 stuff. All those pattern of 8. Yeah,
exactly.
I did it.
It's not going to affect your design.
No, it won't. For example, now if you look here, you see this. The distance between these two is actually 98. It's supposed to be 96. The distance between these two is 96, and 96 is divisible by 8, right?
Okay.
Exactly. So that's what is there. Same thing here. So when you look at the, I'm trying to make everything to be divisible by 8. That kind of gives, this is, everything is divisible by 8. Look at this. Here you have 24, and then between this one and this one you have 24 again. Same thing here. You see 72. You see 32. So it just like that's my own padding. So basically this is what they meant. Although here I didn't obey the rule of white space here. I'm still going to have to do something about this one. There's no rule of white space. This same here too. There's no rule of white space. So basically this is what a wireframe looks like basically, right? Then if you are going to do the interconnectivity with all the prototypes and stuff, you come to prototype, right? When you click on prototype now, say I want, after they click on this button, now this is sign up button, I want them to come to my home page here. So I can just come here. When the plus sign appears on this button, I click on it and drag. Come here to click on this, click on it and drag. Like that. So that by the time I go to my presentation view, you can always view how it will look like before you do anything. So when I go to my presentation view and it's loading, it has been very slow. So when it's loading, if I click on button, it comes to the home page, right? That's just click on button, comes to the home page. So basically that is that about.
Where is the presentation page?
See this play button here. This thing will be like play button for this top side here.
Okay.
Yes, that's present.
Okay.
So now I'm going to remove all my prototype. Yep. And that would be all. So I'm going to stop sharing now. For someone else.
Wait, don't stop sharing. I have some questions. Share it, yeah. All right. So I'm assuming that this first one, this is the login page, right? This first
one is the sign up page.
Okay.
Then the second one is the what?
It's the login page.
And the third one is the menu, right?
The third one is the home page.
What is the third one?
That's my home page. Let me rename it.
Okay. So now we don't need to make this afresh, right? Like for every feature. Like for a new feature.
You don't need to. In this case, you don't need to
do. Okay, all you need to do is, I don't understand it.
Like for
all
example,
right, now, so if I have a feature of, yeah, go ahead.
If you have a picture of what?
Okay, let's separate two different features. Like, what are the two features that you have? I know you have a feature called Sync Social Media, and you have a feature of leader donor board. I think that's what we got from our tutorial that we did, or that brainstorming that we did. So now, those are two different features entirely. You get what I'm saying? How do you separate those two features now?
In this case, now you're not going to separate.
Now, this case, go ahead.
In this case, now you're not separating anything. I don't think you are separating. I don't think we are separating anything in this at this stage any longer. For example, now if I want to lead them to sync social media, It could be after the login or after the sign up. From there, they have to hit the menu button. So I just come here, click till I get the menu button. Then from the menu, I drag to my menu. This is my own menu page, right? Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Then from the menu, let's say this is where my settings is. This is where I choose my settings. So I just come here, click on it, and drag it to settings. Where's my settings again? I don't see my settings. I never designed settings though. Wonderful. Okay, let's say for me it was supposed to be on profile, right? Let's say it was supposed to be on profile. So I'll just come here, click on this. For this profile, it comes here. And this is my social media. This is my label. So let's say this is where my link social media is supposed to be. So it's just going to be there, right? My Facebook icon here, Twitter icon, Instagram icon. They input their links, and then they click on sync. This button here is going to be like the sync button. So what happens is, by the time I come to my lo-fi prototype, right? I could log in. They're on the home page. I click on this. This comes out. I click on here. You come here, right? And then I'm done. So that is that for sync social media. Let's say it was leader donor board, right? And donor leaderboard. So let's say this is my donor leaderboard here. This particular page is my donor leaderboard. I'll just come here and link it to this, right? So that by the time I come here and I log in and I click on this, it brings out my donor leaderboard. So you get.
Yeah. So wait, if I want to separate it, there's nothing wrong, right?
You are not
separating because honestly speaking, it's looking complicated. I like things ABC, I don't like you get what I'm saying? Like for example, now, okay, let's say someone let's say it's a complete novice now opens your Figma page now. You get what I'm saying? He won't know what is happening here. You understand? But
yes, I guess so.
If me, I would like somebody that will open my page and he will just say, okay, this is login. Even if he should press play, he has already seen the sequence. There's a sequence. So I don't know, is that allowed or is this how it's supposed to look throughout? Because me, I'm a very simplified person. All this one is for mathematics genius like you. I'm not a mathematics genius. So are we allowed to make it in sequence so it's straightforward?
Well, actually, if you want to do that, you could. If you want to do that, you could. Like, for someone like me now, I would prefer to just design one page and then do all my prototyping and do all my links. But if you choose that's what you want to do, no problem. It's just that by the time they start clicking on one link to get to the other page, there'll be a breakup in between.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
Now let me know this time. Okay.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My question, Bolo, is now I see that you put everything together, and Jesse was asking if this whole low fidelity prototype thing is strictly for maybe like the wow features, if we're doing them separately for each, like you said, you had the sync to social media. Are we doing the low fidelity prototype for like each wow features, or we're just doing it for generally like from the beginning till the end? And then if you want to separate them by the features, you can do that. So I'm really confused because what I see from yours right now is like it's a whole general thing. Is that how it's meant to be? Or we're supposed to like separate it in terms of the features, like show from the beginning of the process to the end of the process for each features? Is that how? Because I'm a little bit confused here.
Okay, let me just okay, let's assume that nobody knows anything, right? First things first, I've designed my sign up page, right? And I've designed my login page, and then I've designed my home page and my donate page, thank you page, my list of donating organizations, my particular organization, and sync social media. Now let's say I have two wow features, donor leaderboard and sync social media, right? What happens is I have designed the screen I have designed each screen already. Abby? Is everybody with me?
Yeah.
Right. So I have designed each screen already. What is left for me to do right now is prototype. Is link one screen. Is link everything from one screen to the other.
Another.
Good. Now let's say for me, first and foremost, let's say they have to log in. After they log in, from login they go to the home page. Abby?
Yeah.
Now, if from the home page they are supposed to open their menu, which is this icon here, I keep clicking until I get there, right? And this is where my home page links to. This is my menu, right? So I just click and drag that over the menu. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, let's say my sync to social media, let's say, for example, mine is in my profile, right? So I come here, select this profile, either the picture or the entire thing here, and then I bring it to profile. Now, this is where my sync social media stops, because the moment, or let's say this is not where it stops. Let's say, for example, they're supposed to get a message that it has been synced, right? That means I'm going to have to create something here, although I don't have time for that one again. To start creating it now this night. So I'm just going to leave that out here. I'm going to leave that out of this. So let's say after this now, they're supposed to get a message. Let's say that means that when I click, they get a message that it has been synced, that it has been successful. So I will now link this button again. I will now link this button again to that page. Did you get what I just said?
Yeah.
That means I'll link this button again. But me, I don't have any other page, so I'll just leave it here. Right? So now that's for one wow feature. Now let's say another wow feature is donor leaderboard. I come back to my home page. On my home page is where I have my donor leaderboard. Right?
Yeah.
So I'll come back to my donor leaderboard, and then I prototype my donor.
Where did you list it? Where did you list it? Where did you list it? Are you listing? Are you?
Am I what?
It's not like where did you? Like where would somebody know now? Like this first line that you did now, that is for social, like because I think we are depending on the symbology of the image for people to understand what's happening. Not necessarily.
When it comes to wireframe, now, nobody is seeing anything. It's just like the skeleton of what you are supposed to see, of what you want to design, right? There are no pictures, there are nothing, right? It's just blank, just rectangles.
No, I know.
Okay.
I just feel that this thing is supposed to be more simplified. I just feel because if we give this thing now, because we're meant to be making this thing for the front end and for the back end guys, so we're partnering with them. If I give my own without an explanation or a listing, if I'm looking at your screen now, I can't see a listing that says if you're looking for this feature of sync, press this.
Jesse, what I'm showing you, you see all these prototypes that I'm doing, you see all this stuff that I'm drawing arrow, basically majorly they are supposed to be done on the high fidelity prototype where you have added colors and every single detail there, right?
Okay.
For example, now if you see my own, you see label, you see menu item, and so on and so forth, right? I didn't define these labels.
Okay.
But for your high fidelity prototype with the colors and everything, you would have defined every single thing.
Okay.
So in this place where I have label here, what I'll be having will be sync social media. Here, what I'll be having is the Facebook icon. What I'll be having here is the Twitter icon.
So
What
that's
I'll be
more
having here is the
detailed.
Instagram icon.
Okay.
Yes, it will be more detailed. What I'll be having here, instead of
Okay.
button, it will be sync.
So because it's low, there's less on it.
Yes,
Because
because
low,
it's
so there's really not much explanation. Okay.
exactly. So there's really no explanation here. You're not giving this one to the developers,
Okay.
Okay.
right?
That's why.
Exactly.
Better.
Exactly. So that's how it is. So Jesse, do you get it now?
Yeah, I do. But what I'm gonna do, I like looking at things from different perspectives. So I'm gonna ask somebody on the Slack. Maybe I'll ask 2 or 3 people to share their link with me, so I can really do a comparison. So I need to, because I'm not really. I understand, yeah, but I just feel that this thing is supposed to be more simplified.
More
Because
simplified. Jesse, I feel you.
yeah, there's one quote that I remembered from Albert Einstein. He said, "The intelligent make difficult things easy, while the non-intelligent make easy things difficult." So I use that quote in everything I'm doing. So people that are trying to simplify stuff are people that, you get what I'm saying, it should be ABC. When a child should come, a child should be able to point, okay, this is sync. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sync. This is donate. 1, 2, 3. Man, if I look at this, if you don't explain this to me, I'm telling you, I'll be lost from now to next year. You get what I'm saying? But no problem. I'll ask for different links, and I'll share it on the group so we can have a different perspective of what we think it should look like. You get what I'm saying? But I really love the designs, and I'm gonna steal some things from you. I hope you don't mind. You get what I'm saying?
No problem, bro. So can I stop sharing my screen now?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
you can.
Do we have more questions? Ask questions. No. Don't surrender to confusion. No. Ask questions. No. Any more questions? Anchor, you have to turn on the go. Amaka.
Amaka.
Okay, our uncle is not here again. No. She has gone to eat dinner.
I know about eating now. I'm still
Enjoy
here.
the amala.
I'm alive. I just want to the food Milaya said is not going to be a good mom. You don't eat for this time of the night.
Or you remember that they can eat amala for breakfast. Yeah, no problem now. So let's go and walk. Let's go and walk. When are we meeting here again? When are we doing that group study?
We're supposed to submit this assignment next week Monday. Then we can meet on this. Okay, today is Friday. Maybe on Monday.
Sorry, guys. This recorded.
We have a schedule. We have a schedule. Yeah. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Loretta.
Sorry, my question is the string Boluwatife shared. Is that what we are going to do? We don't need to make it I5 prototype, like writing all the details, like the donor leaderboard, like everything. You write the sign up, the sign in, the login page, and all. We don't need to put that, just that alone, just the label and all.
No, you
No.
put it
No, that one he
Below.
that one he just showed us is his own low. For the
okay.
Then we have to make it more detailed. All those things you just talked about now have to be there. The colors,
Okay.
the words, the descriptions, item,
Okay.
typography, and all that will be there. But for the low one, it's just what he just showed us.
Okay, thank you very much. I get it. I understand.
Please, let's go and watch all those videos that our mentors share with us. We will add to what we learned here, so we have to surround a more rounded knowledge of what we're doing. So our schedule is still Tuesday, Thursday, and what is it again?
Saturday.
Friday. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So are we meeting tomorrow? At least from this now, we can go and start something now. I think.
Yeah, we can go and start something. Okay, let's meet on Tuesday.
So now, okay, next one is Tuesday.
Yeah,
No, that Tuesday is pressure time. Oh. That Tuesday
very
is pressure
precious.
time. Oh.
Very, by Tuesday is very, very precious. So anything we have to do. But
Yeah.
Bolu, can I ask a question, please?
Yeah.
Okay, I know it's your personal work, but is there a way that we can kind of like get your link? We're not saying we're copying everything you're doing, but just to get like a guideline on how to go about that. It's your choice. If you don't want to, it's fine.
No problem. Let me copy it and paste it in now.
And guys, please, if you're actually using his guideline, let's just be like, kind of give him some respect and not just everything that he has. We could just use that as a guideline to help us work out. That's just why I'm asking. Thank you all.
So I've sent it.
All right, Bolu, thank you so much. This will help.
Please, don't share the link outside
exactly.
our WhatsApp
Don't share
group.
the link outside our WhatsApp group too, please. Strictly just for.
We don't share our mentor. Our mentor will be using the link as an example. Please don't.
All right. Thank you, Bolu. Thank you, JC.
No copy, oh. No copy, oh. Just look at it, measure it. Look at it, measure it, and do your own work. If we'll start looking at people's links to make sure that there's no copying. We don't have trust issues here. All right now. Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, now.
Thank you, JC. Thank you, Bolu. Thanks, guys.
Next week is pressure. Next week is pressure. Let's meet again this week.
All right, so
next week is pressure.
This class
Sunday,
is recorded, right?
Yes, it's recorded.
Okay, good. So we'll get the link to.
We'll meet again on Sunday because that next week is submission week. So let's not go and be
wasting it.
That time.
Let's
so
do on
Sunday we're
on
meeting
Sunday.
so we can Sunday evening. Wow. All right now. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bolu, nice one. Chop knuckle. Amaka, Anchor. Yeah, now close up.
No problem.
Thanks, guys.
So since we don't have any questions, thank you guys. Thank you all for coming into the meeting. It was lovely learning with all of you. So everybody have a good night rest. Bolu, I guess we can stop recording now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, guys.